everyone, and welcome back to Chronos Plays Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. Today, well, we're gonna present who the real killer is, and hopefully get it right. It would be, you're right there. Look at me. Oh, I wonder what if I presented Mask the Mask? Detective Luke at me. He's the only one who could have done it. Ace Detective. Look at me. You mean Mask the Mask did it? Your Honor, the person being tried in the court next to us is not Mask the Mask at all, even though I proved it yesterday. He is, in actuality, the true murderer of Cain Bullard. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Theft and murder. Which is the more serious crime? Theft, clearly. But not even close. Murder is the more serious crime, of course. It's a capital crime subject to a capital punishment. Please remember the trial from yesterday, if you would. When Luke at me confessed, there was a huge commotion in the courtroom. Of course, a famous detective was unmasked as, well, Mask the Mask. Instead of being convicted of murder, he was found guilty of grand larceny. That was his true objective all along. To be found guilty? Mask the Mask had the perfect alibi for when the murder took place. He was stealing the urn at Lordly Taylor. In other words, being found guilty as Mask the Mask was Luke at me's airtight, watertight, and unassailably alibi. That was not as unassailably, was it? A guilty verdict as an alibi? I mean, yeah, that works. You know, it's almost time. For what? For Luke Atmay's verdict. It's a pretty simple trial, after all. If we're going to stop this trial and stall that one, we need to do it now. Of course. That's assuming you have proof that the detective was the one who committed the murder. Mr. Luke Atmay's trial has indeed attracted the attention in the entire country. If we were to intrude and fail to provide adequate proof of his crime, Mr. Delight would be left with no grounds for appeal. Am I really sure about this? Huh. I bet's only good when your life's the ante. Mr. Wright, I believe in you! Mr. Delight. So, please, I'm begging you! Thanks, but my decision will determine the rest of your life. Can I really risk your life like this? Phoenix, ooh. Mia, not now! Why are you haunting me? What was that? Don't stray, Phoenix. For your client, take the path of trust. If we just look over and Mia's standing there, that voice, it sounds like... Mia! Your Honor! The defense requests immediate recess. Huh. So that's your answer, huh? Very well. I've decided as well. This court will now take a 20-minute recess. Mr. Wright, when we return, please summon Mr. Luke Atmay to the stand. Yes, Your Honor. Well, shit, I didn't know we were gonna get recessed that fast. I would've ended the episode there. But there's a Winston Payne. Well, Sir Detective Atmay, I have to say, Mr. Payne, you performed splendidly. Oh no, Sir Detective Atmay, you were the one who... Oh my god! Oh my god! That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong this trial. This court finds the defendant Luke Atmay. There were two judges all along. Wait! Don't hand down your verdict yet, please. Well, Sir Lawyer, welcome to my courtroom. It's not your courtroom. Who's this hoser, huh? Eh? Oh, are you a Canadian judge? Who's this hoser, eh? My name is Phoenix Wright, attorney at law, and I wish to file an accusation against this man, Luke Atmay. Accusation? You accuse Mask the Mask? That man is not Mask the Mask. He's just a ruthless murderer. What? Man, your nose is dripping heavily, dog. To be continued. So we have an American court, and like right next door is a Canadian court? Save progress. Sure, I guess. Well, it meant like 5 minutes, but yeah, that's fine. October 14th, 12:14. My sis? I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then she's still alive, inside your heart. Or, you know, you could have also just summoned her or channeled her, or whatever the hell you want to call it. Nicky boy. Oh, Ms. the Light. Is it true that Detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definitive proof. But he's the only one who could have done it. But wasn't he at Lordly Taylor that night? Not to mention, we don't know exactly his motive. I mean, why would Detective Abby want to kill Kane Bullard? Oops, that's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. I need to find some solid proof. And it's gotta happen sooner rather than later. How the hell are we gonna do that? That was the shortest goddamn recess we have ever had. Yeah, that was super short. Now then, this court is back in session. Mr. Look at me. Please take the stand. I'm guessing we're gonna find it in the cross-examination. Well. How do you do, sir lawyer? I never would have imagined, I never thought that to see you acting so reckless. I couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have given you your perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Master Mask. I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Luke at me has no idea what you mean. Of course, I have been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could know what's been going on here. You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Master Mask. Indeed, it's truly child's play to fool the arrogant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this red diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine figure, for example. So you continue to insist that you are, in fact, Master Mask? Of course. Very well then, look at me. Let us begin with a simple question. On October 12th at 1 a.m., Kane Bullard was murdered. Were you at the time? Where were you at the time? One of that knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Sir Judge. Thanks. All right, Mr. Atme. The night of the murder. Speak. We're all ears. Not years, ears. As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. Alright, what is your testimony? I was stealing the urn as Master Mask, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. A photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Master Mask was the same time as the murder. Have we? Oh no, we just literally said what time he was murdered, right? Never mind. It seems the main point of discussion will be this photo of the crime. Everything up until now was all part of his plan. There's no paint on the box, so that's one. There has to be a secret in this picture as well. Even the great Master Mask cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. Unfortunately, Mr. Atme, we still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool. Wait, is that the whip lady? Oh shit, I forget her name. Von Karmer, the other Von Karmer. She said something like that, right? I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick. The only thing that he's full of is his alibi. Alright, so I don't know how we could... I mean, we're gonna press. But that photo definitely has, I guess, inconsistency that I should have saw earlier, that there was no paint on the box. So this photograph is proof, correct? Indeed it is. And the man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask. That is why I'm called Master Mask. But conveniently, that also means there's no way to tell who that really is. What do you mean?
Objection!
Huh! Are you saying that this is not in fact Luke Atme? That it could be an accomplice dressed up as Master Mask to create an alibi? Haha! Now what an interesting idea! Are you saying that I, Lone Wolf Luke, had an accomplice? Name the accomplice. I have no idea. I guess let's give it up for now. No. I was like, could Adrian accidentally have, like, been an accomplice? Like, Luke asked her to, like, she works at Lordly Taylor. What if he asked her, like, to reset the time on the camera for some reason? We're not going to do that just now. If Luke Atme was at KB Security during the murder, then the Master Mask in this picture has to be a fake. Then there really was an accomplice, but right now, I have no idea who it is. I don't have any idea right now either. Baseless objections are just what the guy wants. There's got to be another way, and I'm going to find it. I believe Adrian Andrews hired you at one point. That's right. That was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. You sent the calling card to Lordly Taylor 10 days ago before the heist. That would mean you sent out the card after you began your security watch, right? Indeed. There's no reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. There's the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. I see. You trolling out evil, aren't you? Yes, evil is what I am. Hey, Nick, isn't there something odd about this? Huh? Dave Atme was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lordly Taylor while he was the only one watching it, he'd have no way to imitate his perfect ace detective persona. You're right, that's true. It is kind of odd. That's probably something we're going to bring up later then, because there wasn't really anything to present there. So by photograph, you mean this piece of evidence right here, is that correct? Indeed it is. That's it. That is it. The very thing that proves I committed a crime! The very thing that proves you committed the crime. When you think about it, it's really odd. You say that almost as if you had that picture taken on purpose. He was simply caught by the very camera that he had set up. So yeah, we all have days like that. Indeed, it turned out that there was no such thing as a perfect crime after all. Life is truly an ironic thing. A sad blue melody. Looks like I'd better gather more information for now. If he's truly the killer, there's gotta be something phony in that photo. The box. It has to be the box, right? What about the camera that took the photo? Oh, come on. It's all too clear what you're thinking. Huh? You think I altered the timestamp on the photograph, don't you? I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lordly Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lordly Taylor's staff that printed the picture's data. Unfortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered. I see. Looks like I'd better find something else that could be suspicious. So, this alibi is false. It has to be, or he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security. But I'm not really spotting anything unusual. There are two possibilities. Either the Master Mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. Huh. Okay, so we had to gather more information here, right? And we've pressed everything else, so yeah, it has to be. Did something new pop up here? So the photographing this piece of evidence correct, blah blah blah. Committed the crime. Surely even you understand by now. Lordly Taylor provided a camera. There's no way I could have tampered with it. That means I could not have killed Kane Bullard unless I had an accomplice. Come on, think long and hard about that night. The basement warehouse, and the picture that was supposedly captured it. It's gotta be here. Isn't there something funny about this picture? You bet there is. The box is different. I guess, the paint? Are you playing the picture as a fake? You bet I am. There's definitely something strange about this picture. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night before... Oh, the statue itself. Right? 2? It's not there. It was there the night before, but then it was moved when Adrian... So this picture was taken the night before. Is that... Okay, one second. We need to look at that picture again. We took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place. There's something in this photo that doesn't match. Yeah, okay. So this is after Adrian dropped it, but before she moved the statue. And that box can't be it because there's no paint on it, seemingly. Yeah. And there's something in the photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. So the statue's missing, and there's no paint on the box. Very well, then let's hear what you have to say. What about this photograph do you find funny? We start with the box, or do we start with this area? They're not asking about... Yeah, but they're not asking about that either. Just asking what's funny. I mean, it could be that the paint's on the other side of the box too, right? Let's try with the statue area first. The funny part is right here. Why, this is a blood stain. Ah, blood! Now this case is getting interesting. No, not exactly. This isn't Danganronpa. That's actually pink paint. Oh, just paint. And peach-colored at that. From blood to peaches, the judge sure loves going on his wild tangents. Like he likes tangerines. The problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is that when you consider the layout of the basement warehouse, it turns out that something that should be there is nowhere to be seen. Well, Mr. Wright, what is supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stain? Her. The supervisor of the treasure exhibit stated the following. Well, there's a good reason for that. On the day of the crime around noon, that golden statue that just happened to arrive from the mountain training hall. I realized the statue would be the perfect size for covering up the paint stains. That's why I put it there where you first saw it. I myself was there the night the theft took place, and saw the statue in that spot. If this picture was truly taken on that night, then that statue should have been there. But when I went there the day after the theft, that statue of the old bag was... That's very respectable, Godot. Sitting in the corner. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally. Your Honor, the statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would take more than an accidental push to move it that distance. Huh. In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why the statue was moved that night? Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it? Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you are prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one who moved the golden statue on the night of the crime? It had to be Luke Atme, right? Right? The one who moved the statue is none other than Luke Atme. Oh, come on now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions. Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions? It's very simple. It's a medical condition. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. It's indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? The reason for moving the golden statue, here's where the battle begins. Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move the statue? The reason can be found here in the photograph. Look at me, you pretended to be Mask the Mask, to create an alibi by showing you were at Lowly Taylor that night. But this photograph contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would be exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. That is why you had to move the statue. A single fatal flaw? Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Just where in this picture does the lie... I mean... Chronos, stop hovering the finger near his crotch. Sorry. Stop trying to pick his nose. Sorry. Stop caressing his hand. Okay, I don't know what to do with the cursor. Single fatal flaw. It's not this. Because this happened way before, right? And this was dropped, but there's no pink stain there, but it could be on the other side. There's no date on the timestamp. Is that it? Because there's no actual date? The music stopped. Naturally, the lie in this photo is the timestamp. What do you mean? I'll tell you exactly what I mean. On the night in question, Luke Atme went to the KB security and murdered Kate Boulard. But said Luke Atme murdered Luke Atme. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible to have been at Lordly Tail at this time. What does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember if you will, Your Honor. When was the statue placed beside the warehouse door? Well, the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime, and it was placed there in order to cover up paint. Exactly. Luke Atme had already decided on the time he was going to kill the victim. And so, in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. What the? Yeah, so that's what I was saying earlier? Oh, okay. Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. So on the day of the crime, Mr. Atme must have been quite nervous. As nervous as a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. What a goddamn metaphor. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down in a place where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Atme had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match the way it had been in the photo. Order! Mr. Atme, is this true? One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? What's that? The data from the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off the night of the crime. It's true that the camera had been set up by the Lordly Tailor staff. However, the program used to manage the data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. Order, Mr. Godot. What is the meaning of this? I have no idea. Godot, I warned you about making me wait. Now put that coffee down. My 11th cup. I've promised to drink no more than 17 during the trial, which means I'm still good till the last drop. However, the defense has a very good point. A good point? So what? We are all but travelers on the road to infinite points. I think he's got his points mixed up with his other points. So you said this photograph was taken ahead of time, and that the statue was moved in order to make it match. It's a very interesting idea. However, there's one point that can't be denied, which is... it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by the chains of maybe can never reach their dreams. That's very true, I guess. No way, don't fall for that, Your Honor. Hey, Mr. Damask. Yes? If there's no funny business in your actions as Master Mask, there should be no problem with you telling us your strategy, so let's hear it. Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn. The second urn heist. I first received the request from Lorley Taylor about 10 days ago. It was placed in a box in Zavare. I was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent my card 10 days before. Okay, so there's the contradiction. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. Alas, I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th. That's pretty much all the stuff we've heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of new information he gave. Witness, you're sure there's no mistakes this time? Safari! Oh, very well. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Or kill him, one or the other, I don't care. Alright, so we will press him like there's no tomorrow next time. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all then. Bye!